Hey guys, it's Brandon here, and in today's video we're going to be removing the strut tower and knuckle from an E30 325i xDrive, as well as the brake disc, caliper, and this control arm down here. So if your car is rusty, the first thing I'm going to say you do is hit everything with some PB Blaster. The first thing you're going to want to do after you get the wheel off is the axle nut right here. Hit some of that with PB Blaster. And then around the back here, to get the rotor off, we're going to want to hit this bolt here and this one right here with some blaster. On the control arm here, we're going to want to hit these two bolts with blaster. You're also going to want to hit on the rotor, the set screw right here, hit some of that. Then you're going to want to take and hit the steering shaft here, this nut on here that connects to the knuckle. You're going to want to hit that, and as well as the knuckle for this arm that comes through. Right down here, you're going to want to hit that as well. There's one other part inside the engine bay here. Right down here, this nut as well, you're going to want to hit that just to try to loosen everything up out of those rusty spots. I also want to mention that, of course, I have the car on jack stands right now, so we can freely move the wheels. If you're only doing one of these, it's going to be a little bit harder to access everything. But the way to jack these up is on the frame rails here. You can put jack stands. And in my last video on this car, you guys saw how we did the frame rail repair kit, and everything is holding up beautifully. It's supporting the weight of the car, no problem. So everything's working perfectly as intended there. This way too, now that it's jacked up here and there's no wheels on the ground, we can freely move the whole assembly over to access all these bolts easier. So these bolts here, to get the brake caliper off, is what we'll be working on first, are 19 millimeters. I got the socket on that one already. Also, obviously my brake lines are trashed and broken, but usually you could either disconnect them right from here, from the caliper, or this part would be hanging off of right here where I have this big rust spot, and you can disconnect it right here as well. Now I have both of the 19 millimeter bolts out that hold the caliper on, so now I can just pry this off. Now that the caliper is off, the next thing we're going to do is get the rotor off here. That's held on by a 5 millimeter Allen set screw. Usually these never come out, but I actually did the passenger side before this and everything was fine. So I'm going to hope that I can get this one out. If not, you're going to have to drill it out. I do have a video on my M4 when this happened to me. So I'll have a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. It goes through the process of how to remove one of these bolts and retap your hub if you mess it up. This one actually came out perfectly as well. It's crazy how this car is so rusted and decrepit and terrible, but the set screws for some reason are perfect. So that's awesome. Got both of them out no problem. So the next thing is going to be removing this brake dust shield. So if your car is rusty and terrible, it's going to be just like this, where none of the mounting points are there anymore. And the bolts that hold it on are 10 millimeter. There's one here, right here, and another one right here. You can't get onto it with an impact because the hub blocks it in the way, all three of them. So you'd have to do it with a wrench. The other way to do it is just, if it's rusty, to peel this around and break the metal off, and then just leave these here until we get this whole section out. Or you can cut it if you need. It's also not required to be removed, but obviously if they look terrible, you're going to want to get rid of them. But if yours are in good shape, you can leave them. It doesn't really affect anything else. The shrouding is all set now. I just bent it off, as you can see. Still got all the nuts and everything in there in place. Wasn't able to do anything about those yet. But the next thing we're going to do is get the steering linkage off. So that is one nut right here. It is a 17 millimeter. And definitely going to want to impact this one off. So I was able to impact that off perfectly. Everything worked out just fine. I did put PB Blaster on all of these the night before, so it should be why a lot of them are coming out pretty good. So next thing you're gonna wanna do to get this out, you could beat it with a hammer, but if you're gonna try to reuse it, you're gonna mess up the threads doing that. So they have these little tools here. You can get them at Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks. You set it underneath the joint here, and then this goes on top to push it down, and you just set an impact on here and it will push it out of the bottom. Be careful when you're doing it. Have safety glasses on and don't be too near it with your face, as it's almost like spring loaded. Once it loses its thread in here and its coarseness, it basically just comes right out super fast. The next thing we're gonna wanna do is remove the axle nut here. So on the other side, I already have it out. Here's what it looks like. It's a 30 millimeter nut, and there's a shroud that sits behind it that you're supposed to put a screwdriver in and then press it over to make sure this won't loosen up. So on this one, it's a little tough to see in here, but you can see the shrouding right here, all rusted away. This one, it doesn't look like anybody ever went in there and crimped them a little bit to get it out. So I should be able to just put the big impact on this with a 30 millimeter socket right on there and just get it out. The nut should come loose. If yours has the bends in it, like this one, you can see I bent it back with the screwdriver before I was able to take it out. You're just gonna wanna do that. The trick to get these out as well without just spinning the axle is to put 2 of your lug studs back in and then a long bar to brace it, so you can brace the wheel as the impact is trying to force it the other way. That way you don't spin the axle or anything, you can just zip the nut right out. So here it is, it came out with no issues. You can see the shrouding plate behind it that I showed you before. Usually, you bend these down so it doesn't come off the nut in case the nut tries to loosen up over time. So right now, we're gonna leave this in here for now. We're not gonna try to disengage any of it yet. So the next thing we're gonna play with is gonna be this nut down here that holds the control arm to the subframe and the body of the car here. So this nut cannot be accessed from the top because of the axle in there, and you can't get the axle out without removing that nut anyway. So what we're gonna do is, it's a 22 millimeter. You can try it with a wrench first, but this is definitely the nut that gets most destroyed. So the way I did the passenger side was I actually drilled 3 holes up into the nut there and then used an air hammer to break the nut free, and then was able to just pop the arm out. I actually took a little video of it, so I'll have that in here right now. So I'm recording this part before I even do the driver's side and show all of that, but I just wanted to show, in case it doesn't end up happening on the driver's side, that this nut down here, I'm able to drill 3 holes in it with a drill bit and then use an air hammer to make that one solid passage. I did that twice on one of each of the sides of the hex nut, and now it's able to go free. So I should still be able to reuse this threaded piece here and all of that. So just figured I'd mention this. I'm gonna throw it in the video somewhere. All right, guys, so now that this nut is loose and free, I did have to destroy it just like I had to do on the other one, as it just would not come out without drilling through it. I drilled through it in 2 places and then air hammered out the section that I didn't need, and now it's just turning freely. We will, of course, be retapping these threads unless I can just get all new inserts. We'll see what happens with that. I'm not too worried about it right now. But before you take this nut all the way off, what you're gonna wanna do is get out this tool again, do the same thing, line it up in here, have it pressed down. This one is a lot more spring loaded than the steering one is, so be careful about that and have safety glasses on. And then once it's pushed out, then we can get the nut off, because this nut is so close to the knuckle here that you won't be able to actually unscrew it all the way without pushing this down a little bit. So now that that's all set, I can continue getting this nut out. And then we don't want to take this all the way out yet. If you do, it's fine. Just push it back in a little bit, because we're actually going to use this as leverage to start beating the axle out of its hole here. All right, so as you can see, we have the nut out of here. This is loose, but it's still in there. I don't want to take it all the way out yet. The axle nut is off, and the next step is going to be loosening up these 13mm nuts that hold the strut onto the strut tower here. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna wanna loosen all of them, take 2 of them out, leave 1 of them in, and just have a couple threads showing at the top so we can actually rotate the whole strut and move it back and forth. So here we go. I got left this one in, just a couple threads showing. These 2 are totally out, and the whole strut now can be wiggled forward and backwards. We're gonna wanna do that because what we're gonna do first is on here, we're gonna wanna hammer this towards the motor. And when you do it, because the axle doesn't have a lot of play in it, you're gonna wanna hold the strut and pull it towards you. So as you hit it with the hammer, the other hand's gripping the strut here, pulling it towards you until it starts to back itself out. So as you can see, there's obviously no damage done because this is all hardened and flat. You're gonna wanna go just before you start seeing getting this in line with the teeth here. I have maybe 1/8 of an inch until it's flush with all these teeth. Now what we can do is disconnect this from this, because obviously this was holding this in place slightly. And we're gonna need to move this whole strut assembly a lot more than where this is gonna be. So now we can disconnect this and make sure you still have that screw up at the top there so this whole thing doesn't just fall right out on you when you disconnect this. So I've disconnected this here, as you can see. So now this whole thing can move. I still have that screw at the top up there, but the axle still doesn't want to come out. So I got it basically flush, like I said before, with that. But now I'm going to take an impact socket. It's a 10mm. Just have it on here as I hold this, pulling it towards me. So the whole strut assembly, I'll pull it towards me like this. Just beat on a little bit with a hammer to try to push the axle out. And once it's free, then we can disconnect the strut from the top. And here we go here, the axle is out. Now the only thing holding the strut in is that bolt at the top. So all we gotta do is remove this bolt. This whole thing will fall if you don't hold it. So I recommend just holding it right on the body of the shock here or right under the perch. It is a little heavy because it does have the whole hub attached to it here, but you should be able to do it with one hand, no problem. So now the strut assembly is all out. I did want to mention that the front sway bar here does have a link that attaches to the strut. Mine is heavily corroded and was broken already, so it just unfolded out. But if you want to do it the right way, there's a nut on the back of the strut here, which you have to remove, or you could remove the whole sway bar, but that's a huge deal. If you're not gonna put it back in, or if yours is super rusty and you're gonna do a new one, you can actually just take the strut out, and then these are just have ball mounts, so it'll just peel itself out, no problem. You can also snap that back in if you needed to, but that's just the easiest way I found to do it, because these nuts are hard to get to and they're super corroded, as you can see. All right, so the next step I'm gonna do is remove this control arm here. It mounts to the subframe here and the chassis here. Obviously, if you're just gonna replace the coil and the hub, because they're one unit, you don't have to remove any of this, but I'm actually gearing up to continue welding the frame rails all the way up through here right to the subframe, because as you can see, it's a death trap, and I'm probably gonna die if I drive the car. So I need to get all this off so I can get up in here and weld all that. So the next thing I'm gonna be doing is removing this bolt here. So this is the bottom of it. There is no bolt. It's the one on the top of the subframe I showed you guys earlier, and I'll show you how to get that off. And then there's these two here that connect to the chassis, and those are both 17 millimeter. Definitely gonna wanna blast those as well, as I was having some problems with the passenger side. So these are a huge pain, especially if there's a bunch of rust everywhere. If you're not going to remove your axles, which right now I'm not going to, you can just let them hang on the steering rack here, because the steering rack has its own stop in it. This way you won't hurt any of the CV joints or anything, and you can remove this and the axle won't just flop around. All right, so here is the bolt we are going to remove. It's gonna be a 22 millimeter. And if you don't have a 22 millimeter wrench after this, because the socket, this bolt does just spin, so you can impact it off, but there's a chance that once you get it free, this whole assembly just spins. So on the top here, you can see it's a little flat on this edge and this edge, and this one looks a little better. It looks to even maybe have an Allen key in there, but I don't think so. But anyway, you can take an 8 millimeter and put the wrench over this, and then use a 22 millimeter or a 7/8 wrench, they both fit, to wind this nut off. So I'm on the passenger side of the car here. I just wanted to make a little note. For what I'm doing, I didn't actually have to remove this bolt all the way. Here you can see it on the passenger side. I just got it like pretty far, and then removed the, these are actually 16 millimeters instead of 17. I'm sorry about that. So this way though, now if I just remove those and knock this off, this just spins around freely. I can spin it right out of the way and do all the welding I need to up in here, all the way up to the subframe. So I'm gonna leave it like that. If you did need to take this off, you just keep removing the bolt and the nut, and it eventually just will slide right out of the bottom like this. So I was able to do the same thing here, just left this swinging around and loosened it up. That's gonna be it for this video, showing how to take apart the coil system for the 325 Xi E30 chassis. In the next video, I'm going to be doing the welding of all of these frame rails, repairing them the best I can, and getting everything safe again. So watch out for that, probably out in a couple of weeks. But for now, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below.